Hi.
What's up, everyone?
Welcome back. We've been on a bit of a vacation, but if you listen to us, no, we haven't. Like,
No, we
haven't. Yeah.
we
just
made
worked really hard. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
do
put
this
extra
for you.
effort in.
We did.
Yeah.
Jessica, what are you drinking tonight?
It's disgusting. I'll be honest.
Okay.
All I had left over was Fireball.
Oh
and
no.
yeah,
Oh.
and I can't do shots of that anymore since Vegas. So I'm just mixing it with
so you're
Diet Coke.
scarred for life now.
Well, okay, like I threw up right on the table, and it was like you couldn't stop it because it wasn't projectile vomiting. It was just a little.
It was just like
fell out, and it like was a puddle. It was like a falls, like
Yeah,
Waterfall
exactly.
of
what is happening?
It was like a
it was like a
spit take,
waterfall,
you know?
but it wasn't like psh, it was drop.
It
Yeah, exactly. So
It was just leaky faucet.
Yeah.
so now it just tastes like spicy Diet Coke, which like isn't so bad when I first start, but leaves like a burnie in my throat. Ugh.
I
Anyways.
couldn't do that. First of all, I don't like Coke, and then second off, I don't like cinnamon hearts. So that would just ruin everything for me. That
like
just
a
sounds like a
stupid
no.
drink.
Yeah, this is bad.
Get off
That's a
this
non-dawn.
You
Yeah.
put it off.
Never. Sonia, what are you drinking tonight?
Okay, so since I'm so excited for the topic I want to discuss with you guys today, I got a whole bottle. And I'm going to drink it the whole time. It'll be fantastic.
We approve. I
A
love
giant bottle of girls' night out for our listeners.
Mm.
Yeah, she just said
That's
a giant
right.
bottle.
Just
and
a
people
giant.
are
Okay.
like,
It's not rum or anything because I can't do that stuff. I'm
It's
too
wine.
old. It's just wine.
It's
It's
that
just a-
fruity wine.
Just a little bottle of wine. That's it. Don't. But if you want to see it, there's
YouTube?
YouTube on Saturdays. Yeah.
Yep.
Tomorrow. Watch it tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm not drinking, unfortunately. I'm drinking sparkling kiwi strawberry drink from Costco. But I just got home from seeing Nicholas, so I'm not drinking. I'll drink sometime later tomorrow.
Do you want to
probably.
briefly describe why you had to go see your son, Nicholas?
Okay. So, was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday. My son had a birthday party at a trampoline park that is called Flying Squirrel. And so him and 9 friends went to go jump for 3 hours at this park. And like after every hour, there's a break or whatever, like pizza. And then like there's cake and whatever. Anyway, so an hour in, right before the pizza starts, my son and his friend were goofing off on the trampoline. And his friend tried to tackle him, and he got his ankle caught and snap.
Damn.
Yeah, it is so brutal. He couldn't walk, he still can't, and so we had to cancel the party. And I still had 2 hours left of this party, and they're only giving us $50 off.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What'd you do with all the pizza and cake?
Oh, they got to eat it. So like,
Oh, that's
was-
good.
yeah, but like after Nicholas obviously injured his ankle, none of the kids wanted to jump because they're not
Yeah, that's traumatizing a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
right? And like they're there to be supportive, like to Nicholas. They're not gonna be like, "Hey, I know you can't enjoy your own birthday. Let me go jump." And like, so, but yeah, so, and then he had to go to the hospital, and I couldn't go because I had my youngest, and my husband was working. So my mother-in-law was in charge of taking care of these 9 kids, having to figure out how they're gonna get home, and then take my son to Emerge, where he got his X-rays, no break. We don't know if there's a hairline fracture yet. We have to wait for a radiology to talk to me on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then I had to make an appointment with the fracture clinic for the orthopedic surgeon to look at his tendons and ligaments, which are torn. I showed you guys the picture.
Yeah,
that
looking
one
pretty
line,
bad.
that bruise, that one line, that's
Mhm.
a ligament that's totally. And there's broken blood vessels. The muscles is it's gonna take a while. And so we got an air
Damn.
cast on it, and like he can't even shower really by himself. Like his dad had to like come help him, and he's staying at my mother-in-law's because there's a bathroom downstairs in the basement where he sleeps.
Yeah.
Whereas here he would like have to do the stairs a lot, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, that
So-
makes sense.
He's staying at my mother-in-law's. He may or may not go to school. We'll see. And if so, she'll drive him, Whereas here he would have to take the bus and he can't with that big ass air cast.
So.
Yeah, so that's how we're starting off the year. And then
Happy New Year.
And I love that you have to do like their doctors aren't all in the same hospital. You have to wait different appointments. Like back in my day, not even that many days ago, a doctor would come and you would get all these things done the same night in emergency.
Yeah, no.
They're like, we don't want to fund
hospital, but it's different departments and different. I don't know. They're just trying to get you in and out. But then so they have to get radiology to come look at his X-rays because they'll obviously see more. Plus, like the swelling's now finally gone down. They can actually check his ligaments and tendons, whereas before the swelling was so bad, like it was ballooned, you couldn't see shit. And now the bruising is finally settled in. It's bad. Like I said, you guys seen it's bad. I feel bad. And that's not even the worst. That is the worst part of my week so far. But even before then, my mother-in-law accidentally hit our car.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that happened.
So to pay us back, she bought my husband a TV.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
She's like, you know what? I will pay the remainder money for your TV. So now we have a new TV and a crack in our bumper.
Which you can fix with tape. It's super easy to fix.
It's fiberglass. It's fine, but yeah. So that is how my week is going.
So
Sonia.
the topic of I pulled out of this for this week's episode is called "What did you do over winter break?"
Perfect. Well, Dawn just went.
Yeah, I know. And then the drink word is anything that's like crazy, like oh my gosh, or like crazy town, crazy people. Oh my god, I can't deal. If we say any of those words like that, we drink. Okay,
we're gonna be so drunk.
You're not even
sober.
Well, yeah, true.
You're like in spirit. I'm gonna be drunk. I guess.
I'm gonna have a full bladder. Okay, that's what's happening over here.
Anybody want to go before me about their winter break?
No, mine was New Year's Eve got ruined because Lyric didn't want to stay at the in-laws, so I started streaming. If you want to watch video games and me get lost in them, that's Variety Jess on Twitch. And that is about it.
That's it. Woo! Don't worry. You guys will have stories to tell. Like you'll be like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of something. Okay. So before I get into what happened, I need to do some backstories of the history. Okay.
The prologue.
Prologue. So before, like a couple of years ago, I used to have Kyle's family on Facebook. This is like the only social media I really have. So after a while, so they like to gossip. The family, they're gossipers. And every time I would post something, they would go to Kyle's mom and be like, why would she post that? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And like Marlene would be like, go fucking ask her. Like, don't make me a middleman. And no one ever asked me anything. And it's not like I post like, I'm a boring ass person. There's nothing going on. I don't understand.
A lot of your posts are like, people deserve human rights.
Yeah.
Or jokes. She posts jokes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So, but it got to the point where like pretty much Marlene was getting harassed kind of thing, right? They would like talk about like whatever. And then they would ask Marlene and Marlene just got fed up. And she asked me, she's like, can you just not have them on your Facebook? I was like, yeah, no fucking problem. I don't care. I only had them there because they added me. So I got rid of them. So I don't have Kyle's family, but I did still have his sister. So last Christmas, so this is another background story. Okay. So last Christmas, before my mom died of COVID in September.
Right.
So then we were and we were at Kyle's sister's house having Christmas dinner. And a family friend's child had COVID. And then they made a joke, oh, it's not really COVID because they're not dead. Yeah. So like,
I remember that.
Yeah. It ruined my Christmas. And I was so fucking bitter about it still. Like, I'm still like, upset about it. It was like something
valid.
That could have been,
it's a valid
and then like, so like, I was like, no. So I walked out, which brings to Christmas Eve. We're on our way to the in-laws were staying at Kyle's parents' house for the week. So we're going to Kyle's parents' house, and I made a post like, oh, Highway to Hell came on, like that's like going to see the in-laws, blah blah blah. And then so this is on Twitter. So I don't have any of Kyle's family on my Facebook. So how would they wouldn't, I just got Twitter. So that's another background story. I've only had Twitter for a few months.
Yeah.
So I don't talk to these people. They wouldn't know I have Twitter. Right. So
or they shouldn't.
Normally they wouldn't unless they were, looking.
So I made a post like, oh, I have to see the in-laws tomorrow. Like, it's okay. I have alcohol. And then somebody saw it. Someone of Kyle's family saw it and then sent it to Marlene, which hurt her feelings because their family said it was about her, which, like, first of all, I would never say anything like that about Marlene. You don't say rude things about people who make phone calls for you. Like, that's just an unwritten rule. You don't shit talk the people who make phone calls for you. Yeah. But then Kyle's sister sent Kyle the message, like, you guys are so ungrateful. Why would you ever put something like that about like mom or whatever? So the post is very vague, by the way. It doesn't say who I'm talking about or like anything. It could be about my sister's partner, my brother's partner, Dawn Marie's partner. Like, it could be about a lot of people I was seeing that day. But so the whole family, obviously it's the whole family if it's because somebody sent it to Cassandra. So somebody in that family. So they're gossiping about me. They looked me up. Like, it's just like guys.
Oh my God. I wonder if they're listening to us right now.
Okay. I was going to say, if you want to hear us talk shit about you, keep listening. Fight the rest of the family. We're all here for you.
Well, I was just going to say, Sonia started Twitter because our podcast started doing well on Twitter. Yeah. So how did they know you have Twitter unless maybe they were following the podcast?
Maybe. We're about to find out in the next few weeks.
We'll see.
If you're related to Sonia and you're stalking us and listening to this, type 1111 in the comments below on whatever platform you're listening to.
And we'd love to hear from you.
You'll win a free sticker.
Or send us an email, but or buy us a drink.
We could read it.
Yeah, buy us a drink. Let us know how you're related to Sonia.
If you're gonna fucking stalk me, at least buy us a drink.
Make it known.
Don't fap for free, okay? That's what we're doing. We have on our Linktree Opinionated Luscious, we have a buy a drink thing. Come on. You know what else? Also, send our podcast to your friends.
Yeah. Hey, if you really want up-to-date information plus private special exclusives, you can even join our Patreon and give us a monthly tip.
Yeah. A whole month.
But if you want us to talk shit about you to the rest, just let us know. We will do an email. Gladly.
Yeah, send us an email. I promise you we'll read it live on air.
Yeah. Please do.
Anyways,
so continue. This is just the start.
Oh my God, we haven't gotten to the actual chapter 1 yet. I don't. Wait, is it chapter 1?
It's just
we're in chapter 2.
Okay.
We're gonna.
So what that post is actually about is it was Kyle's sister. So but I'm always annoyed. It wasn't something bad. It was an exaggerated joke. So I do the thing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to see Dave. I'm gonna have to see Natalie. You know what I mean? It's just But what made it funnier was the reaction I got. So I was like, and it just ended up being actually a whole shit show. Marlene was really upset, and she's like, okay, I can't plan Christmas with you guys together anymore because of this whole ordeal.
Because of a tweet. You wield so much power.
I know. I ruined the holidays.
You changed Christmas.
I ruined Christmas for everybody. And and I was told I got a stern talking to about social media ethics.
On Twitter?
not on Twitter.
Where you have literal porn? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. So I'm not apparently. Yeah. I'm still going to be me. There's nothing.
How dare you post on your own social media? Like, don't dare post on your own platform that others aren't even invited to. Don't do it.
Yeah, they don't follow me.
How dare you?
Like, it's not like they're a follower.
How dare you post something that some stalker is going to see? How dare you?
Right? Like, the point is, like, I was the one being stalked. I don't know why. So this was Christmas Eve. So they get together Christmas Eve, the whole family, the whole lot of them. And so clearly someone was talking about me, something, they had to check up on me. Like, it's just like, if you care about me that much, send me a message. How are the kids doing, Sonia? How's life, Sonia? Like, don't be fucking creepy about it. Just like, so that was day one, and there was a snowstorm. So like, 20 hours in the car. We had to like stop and sleep over at a hotel. So then something fun happened. Danica started having cluster seizures nonstop. Like, I fucking broke my kid. That's it. And then we went to McMaster and they couldn't do anything for her. Still having cluster seizures, even at home.
They haven't gotten any better at home?
Nope. Just like, I don't know what happened. And then nobody knows what happened. And we can't get a doctor. So that adventure. So we have a nurse practitioner because in New Brunswick, there's not enough doctors. Yeah. So I'm on a wait list for that. But we see, to get our prescriptions and stuff filled, we see a nurse practitioner. Nurse practitioner cannot do referrals to other doctors. The Danica has
in Ontario they can. Like,
not
my nurse
not here.
does it on the behalf of my family doctor though. So I don't know.
Oh, maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah, because they work in the same. Yeah, but nurse practitioners have basically the same thing as doctors these days. Like,
I say we do the same thing Cuba does, where like you go to med school and shit like that, and part of your like residency is 2 years in a rural area.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's why Cuba makes more doctors per like capita than like any other country, because they do shit like that and it's like free, and they, I'm just saying, we could just. Little communism, just a little, like, just
I would like a lot of communism. So
I know, I'm just
a little bit good.
Scare people away. We'll start with the doctors.
I'm telling you, gaslight them into it. Like, I have plans. I told you.
Because so many people are propagandized by the Red Scare that it's like, as soon as they hear the word communism
and China, and they always put the two together, and I'm like,
and socialism somehow scares them too. You know what I mean?
Because
like,
socialism and communism is the same thing, and they're totally fucking not.
People think fascism and communism are the same thing if you talk to them long enough.
Anything isms. You choose your isms.
You choose your isms, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Like my son has seizures and he used to have them like really bad. Luckily his medication has been great. He still has them. Like he'll never have a day when he doesn't, but he went from like 200 a day to like 5. So it's
so great.
Yeah, I know. It's really good. He has to get like blood tests every year to check his like liver levels and stuff because of the medication. But I mean, it is what it is. So like, as soon as you send me that video, that was my first thought, was like, those look like seizures.
Yeah, we thought at first, so Danica used to do, well, still does, used to do the thing when she got agitated or too stressed out, she would shut down. And I know a lot about anxiety and depression, and that's like, something that goes with that. Now that we think about everything she's been going through, we're like, oh my gosh, she's been having seizures. Like, just like, on top of all these other things, she's been having seizures. But something just happened over like Christmas break. I guess like being stuck in the car is very stressful.
Yeah.
And then also being in Ontario, Danica has a lot of trauma in that province. So like that usually causes her a lot of stress too. So I think it just really triggered something. And now like it's just been super aggressive and she hasn't been able to come back from that. But again, we won't have actual diagnosis or anything until one day we find a doctor. So
it took 8 months to get diagnosed with epilepsy for earnest in Ontario. And then it took another year to figure out what kind of epilepsy.
It's going to be a fun journey.
Yeah. So that also included medication trials that did not work and actually made shit a lot worse. And shitty doctors, so like we had to leave our pediatrician because they were like, our pediatrician actually signed one of the early petitions that doctors signed about kids returning to school being more important than like COVID.
Oh.
Do you remember that in Ontario? Yeah. Our pediatrician was one of those doctors. So so I was like, oh, not going to you anymore.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then coming home was a lot easier. Things are nicer, relaxed. It's been okay. Except for today, I got my ass kicked from a fucking chicken or rooster. My leg hurts so bad. Like he gave me like the hardest Charlie horse, and my brothers used to beat me up. Okay, but like I feel like this is the hardest Charlie horse I've ever gotten in my life. My legs are all bruised. Like this is. I understand how cockfights are too aggressive. Like I know now.
They also put like razors on them and shit, so that they're even more aggressive.
No,
than, like,
you don't need razors.
One.
You don't need razors. They like, it's like getting hit with like a car. It's not a car. I've been hit by a car. It doesn't hurt that bad. But like,
being hit by a chicken hurts more than a car, you guys.
Okay, it's like it's being punched really like very hard. Over and over again, but I was like holding one of the girl chickens, so I think he thought he was just trying to protect his lady.
Because he's such a good boy.
He is such a good boyfriend. But like, this is my chicken. Like, I love cuddling her. She loves cuddles. Like, she was purring. Like, she was fine. But the thing is Kyle was in there with me, so Kyle is like the head chicken. Okay, when Kyle's in there, there's no like issues. Like he'll square up, but then Kyle's like, "What?" And then he like backs down.
Oh, we need like a picture of like Kyle's head on like a chicken body. Going, what?
Head chicken.
Yeah.
Head chicken, what?
The pecking order. But then Kyle left to go like get something. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden the Blackbeard is his name. It comes at me like he's attacking me. He's biting me. He's full force hitting me with his body. And I'm like, Kyle, like at the top of my lungs yelling. And he's like, I'm coming. Just hold on. But like he was like stuck in our garage. He's like, I'm coming.
Well, you're getting beat up.
Yeah, he's going as fast as his little legs will take him. He's trying so hard. But it was too late. I already got beat up.
Yeah. Wow, you had a very busy winter break.
I'm sure other stuff happened, but I forget. I'm like put on the spot talking about it. I'm like, I just forget now.
Okay. Christmas Eve, I did go to the in-laws, and because it was the holiday, we were gonna stay a little longer. We go to the in-laws once a week to our listeners for dinner and stuff. And they for also any new listeners out there, my in-laws are pushers. They always refill my glass. Like I don't even ask. They just do it. They just refill. I don't know. They think I'm hilarious now. Like for the record, they hated me for like the first 5 years. Now they think I'm hilarious and they keep complimenting me, and like they listen to like bits of the podcast. Not enough, I think, to know the scope of our podcast, but they have listened to bits and they're always like, oh, you're so funny, kind of thing. Anyways, on Christmas Eve, we're drinking, we're talking, everything's good, but I kept drinking. We ran out of wine. They pulled out some more beers, and they started, giving them to me. And I didn't realize how drunk I was until we were getting ready to go. And I fell out of the chair. And my in-laws are just like they didn't even question it. Like they didn't
like, yeah, okay.
Like they think you were doing a bit.
I just think I'm on fun, and the chair slipped. And then it wasn't for like 2 or 3 days later that his mom like messaged me, and she just was like just wanted to make sure you were okay. I'm like, oh no.
She
was something that did happen. It was pretty funny, and they were like scared with me walking. So their condo is on an upper, like it's like you go in their front door and it goes right to stairs, and you have to go stairs all the way to their floor because their floor is on like the upper floor. Like I had to go down like it's a whole flight of stairs. Like I had to go down those after falling off the chair. And I just remember they were all like, Chris is like, I will come back and get you. He's going to like buckle lyric in the car. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And I'm like grabbing bags and stuff because I'm going to be helpful, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Luckily, I didn't fall. So I made it. I held the railing like a big girl. So
good
yeah,
girl.
So that was a fun night. But yeah, so I get drunk with my in-laws every weekend, apparently. Not my fault. Okay. They keep putting it in front of me. Like that's like putting like drugs in front of an addict, you know? What am I supposed to do? Say no?
Just say no.
Just say no.
I brought alcohol to drink at Kyle's parents for like the week. Like because we're gonna do New Year's, we're gonna like stay for Kyle's mom's birthday, but we like left early because Danica ruined Christmas.
First Kyle's sister, then Danica. Like they were in on it together. They're like,
well, no, remember Christmas. It was me who ruined Christmas.
Yes, you and Danica ruined Christmas.
Yeah, stalking is actually perfectly fine in social media etiquette. Yeah, like that's part of social media. It's just
it is, of course.
It is. Yeah. It is. However, being blamed for that said stalker, that's just
okay. Sonia, I do have a question for you. Feel free to not answer.
Okay.
Do you have any suspects?
Oh,
who you think is stalking?
It's Kyle's mom's side of the family.
We've narrowed it down.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it. It's fine with me. They don't like me. I'm pretty sure is a very solid explanation for that.
It's kind of late to not like you though.
No, it's been the whole time. It's been 18 years.
But that's so many years. Like at that point, I just would stop caring about the person.
Oh, I don't. You know? Oh, them. Yeah. I don't
for
care.
them.
I don't check up on them or anything.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you can hate someone. Like I've hated people, but then after a few years, you just get tired of like hating people. So you just don't like put the energy into them at all. It's like you don't even think about them. You couldn't give a shit what they do because you don't care about them. But if you hate someone and you're putting this much effort into hating them, you're thinking about them all the time.
Yeah, like I live rent free. Apparently, I would like to know how much they do check in on me. Was that one day a fluke?
Yeah. No, but like that was the same day you posted. Like that's
it was an hour after.
Yeah, it wasn't days. Like that's what's crazy. Like they must be on your social because like an hour.
I don't know.
Plus, if they were just looking, like that means they were also just looking for your Twitter, which is also unlikely. That's like two coincidences that they both knew you had a Twitter and then checked your post.
Yeah, and
the hour of posting. No, they have
my Twitter isn't my name. Like my Twitter handle and stuff, not my name.
Doesn't
like
matter.
It's not like they search Sonia Kilman. Okay,
no, all they have to do is follow our podcast or follow like one of us from the podcast. Yeah, because I retweet your stuff. So if they were following me or anything, so like, and I'm on your Facebook. So if I comment on your Facebook, they went to me. Like my link tree is in all public.
It was a big chain. Like we're finding out. We're trying to figure it out.
Or hold on. They follow the podcast on Facebook. Like because originally you did have them on Facebook, and maybe they made another account.
No, it was.
Hold on.
Okay, yeah. Go.
So, like, they originally tried to stalk you on Facebook, but they technically can't. But then they know somehow you have the podcast. The podcast is on Facebook, but it's also on Twitter, which are both posted together. And then go to your Twitter, but then they can see you finally, where they're not blocked.
If you're listening to our podcast, can you tell me how you found me? I'd like to know.
Whose theory? Like, I want to know, am I right? Am I right?
Yeah.
I think if they found the podcast, then that was all they needed because the podcast goes to its link tree, which goes to then all the podcast socials in which you have an account on most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's my face and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it originally from Facebook because that's where they had you, but you're blocked. Like you blocked.
But like when
No, I didn't block though. I just got rid of them.
Yeah. So they probably just saw you post or share something about the podcast and that started the train because when I'm on the podcast Twitter, retweet your stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So then they saw your tweet on the podcast Twitter and they could then click that and then see your whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is the podcast's fault. We need to quit.
The podcast ruined Christmas.
That means it's working. Like, I want to talk more shit. I want to piss more people off. Like,
I want to piss people. I want to piss my family off. I feel like, but it's not working. See, my family hated me so much that they eventually became indifferent. Like, you're
yeah. See, I don't know what's going on. I don't really care. I don't. So like, I don't have the strongest feelings anyway. Like, so Kyle, is different. So that our kids are treated different. Okay, so I don't think anyone notices that. Because if so say example, there's Natalie and there's me. Mm-hmm. So if Natalie treated, and say, we're going to say Constantine had kids and Brandon had kids. If Natalie treated Constantine's kids differently than Brandon's kids, I'd be like, Natalie, fuck off. Okay. Yeah. I would notice that, but I don't think anybody else notices that. So there hasn't been said anything, but like the same thing, Kyle's oblivious to it too. I'm like, did you know this happened and you weren't invited? He's like, oh, well, like there was an event around Christmas and like Kyle didn't get the chance to decline. So Kyle's like, it's just one more thing I don't have to say no to. But like, we would have sent a wedding gift, like that was like the thing, right? So it's
well, I mean, you were like you said, so we might be related like to some of these moments. My aunt came up from Florida one year, visited me in Hamilton for 2 days, and then went to my cousin's wedding, and she didn't even realize that I didn't get an invite. And you know why I didn't get an invite? Because my cousin's wife thought that my dad would just invite me. And I was like, we live 4 hours away. Why would my dad, I'm like 24 years old. Why would, what? And it just turns out he just like forgot to send me an invitation. Like apparently my cousin didn't even know I wasn't going. Like, I think he thought like I just wasn't going. It's like, no, your wife didn't send me a fucking invite. I didn't even know you were getting married that day until my aunt came and visited me and said, yeah, I have to leave now. I got to go to my cousin's wedding. So I was just like, yeah. Oh, good to know. Good to know. Yeah.
But again, I'm pretty sure I'm the reason why Kyle doesn't get invited to things either. Although I've always been respectful to people. Like, I've never been rude to any of that family.
Doesn't matter.
I just have my own views. I don't really, if you're listening, tell me what the fuck is happening. I'd like to know. I don't actually care. But at the same time,
you would like to guest appear on an episode of Opinionated Lushes to speak your side, we are interested in having you on.
Let me know. Or I guess you would just ask Marlene. I
can relate. I can relate. I have a story, technically.
Yeah.
Dave and his brother don't get along. And for David's brother's wedding, which was in another country in the US, he invited everyone but Dave. And that's including my son. And in order to invite my son, he had to invite me to get him across the border, right? Because you can't just bring any child across the border with anyone. So like everyone was invited but my husband. And so my husband's cousin emailed his brother and was like, hey, like you should just invite him. Like it would please your mom, it'll please, like you don't have to talk to him, but like just be civil. He was like, nope. And so I had to go with my son, and like Dave wasn't bitter. He wasn't like, then if I'm not going, none of my family's going. Because that would have probably hurt Dave's mom, right?
Yeah.
So he was actually the bigger man in the situation, was like, fine, I don't have to go, and like my family can go and whatever. I personally wouldn't have gave a shit. I had no problem with going or not going. I was like, eh. But so we ended up going. And then my son also wasn't even part of the wedding. It was his only nephew, but they had the bride's family, who he barely knew, part of the wedding.
Yep.
What the fuck?
My mom's third marriage. Here we go. Yeah. None of her kids were there. And I, being the closest one, in vicinity, and like we were next door neighbors, like the reason I couldn't go was because I had Like Ernest was a little baby. Little baby. They didn't want any babies. They didn't want any babies. There was a small wedding at a, I don't know, B&B or something. I don't remember.
Okay.
But so I couldn't go to the wedding. So I was like, okay.
They didn't even give you the option to get a sitter. They were just like, no.
Well, I was with my ex at the time, and like we were broke boys. Like this was, you know, on like welfare and stuff. And I was like breastfeeding. Like I couldn't just like go.
Okay.
Like without bringing my kid. Like that was then the like 2 months later, whenever, you know, because it takes a while for wedding pictures, she gets the wedding pictures. She's like, come see the wedding pictures. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know, trying to be the bigger person, you know, oh, my mom got married for a third time. And to a guy that's only 13 years older than me. And I see the wedding pictures, and you know what's in there?
A baby.
Fucking baby. And you know whose baby?
The
Brad's cousin's baby. So Brad's cousin, sorry, my mom's third husband's cousin, was able to bring her baby, but her own daughter was not able to bring her grandchild. And I was like, well, I'm not going to show up to your fourth wedding either now. Like, fuck that.
Is she going to have a fourth wedding?
I don't know. My grandmother ended up leaving her third husband. She didn't get married to the fourth guy yet, but they have been together a while. So I just assume it's like genetic.
How come you're
weddings? Let's go. You're only on your first. You're way behind.
I broke the cycle.
Or you're just not with it yet. Come on, man. Like,
okay, you know how long it took me to get even engaged and proposed to? Like, I don't know if like my mom just has like a golden pussy or whatever it is, but she just keeps finding husbands. Like, she didn't have any more kids. I know, right? Like,
I think it's easier to get remarried when your kids aren't living at home.
Yes.
So like,
she married my stepdad when I was 9. Oh, like her second husband.
Oh, my mom. Oh, you know what? My mom had a lot of serious boyfriends, but they all died. So like, I think my mom, before she passed away, might have had like 5 weddings. So like, this is a funny story. We don't have time. Next time, you know what? Yeah, we have time. Fuck it.
Okay. Make it up.
So when I was 5, so her first husband, she left. He's still alive these days. But her second husband was my dad. He died. Then she had another serious relationship with a guy that they moved in together. There's talks. He died. And then there was another guy.
I don't mean to laugh.
I know, but it's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad.
And then like another guy, he died right in front of her. And then I think that's it. I think it's only 3 deaths. Like that was, I think there's only 3. But then the one she was with when she passed, I think we wish that would have happened. But no,
the wrong one died that round.
He's such a sleazy piece of shit.
He
is. And I think my mom only stayed with him because she was just tired. I think that's what happened. She ended up having a heart attack. She was depressed, untreated depression. There was a lot of issues with my mom. Mm-hmm. And I think she just stayed with this. She kept saying she was happy, but I'm pretty sure she's lying because you would see them together at like family gatherings and she would be like closed off, whatever. But then when she was without him, she'd be laughing. She'd be having jokes. She'd be having like, you know, an actual like fun time.
It's so sad because there's so many women that do that. It's like stay with men that make them miserable.
And just because she was afraid to be alone. Like, I think that was it. Like, there's nothing wrong with being alone. Like, it's just, although like, I would
know, dream but... sometimes. Like, like, okay, I love my husband, but I would stay married if we could live in a separate house. Like,
that's actually becoming trend. Like people are doing that. Like either sleeping, having separate bedrooms or... Yeah, it's a completely upper class thing.
It's a rich people problem.
It's like you're married, but you're dating. Like I want to like have the dating feel, not
but the commitment of being married.
Yeah, like we're not screwing anyone else. We have kids and like whatever, but like I don't want to sleep beside you. I don't want to see you every fucking day. Like I just want a day where I'm chilling by myself. I don't want to take care of you all the time. Like no, I have kids. I don't want to do that with you too.
I know. I feel like that's what it is. I don't want to caretake.
Yeah.
For a fucking adult after caretaking for children all day. Like I barely have time to take care of myself. Like I don't have time for anyone else. Like you look at my background. I haven't cleaned it since Halloween because the pink balls are behind that thing over there.
They're still there.
I'm not even gonna like show my room. Like it's bad, but like I will like clean like this area, and then I'm like, you don't need to see behind there. That's.
But yeah, like I don't know. Like with my grandmother and my mom. My whole issue was they would keep choosing men over their kids at the time. And that's when it became an issue. Like if your boyfriend, fiance, husband is like abusing your children or yelling at your children in a way that they shouldn't be able to do that or whatever, it's like, you're the parent here. You should be the one stepping in, not your children. And that's where it was like really fun. Like that's where I would like hold my resentment because it's like, do you like if you need to be happy and you weren't happy with that person,
right?
Like,
yeah,
do you.
Yeah.
But the minute you're like doing it that and it completely disregards your children's life, it's like no, there's still your responsibility at least like for a while. Like we don't get to choose who you're dating and bringing into our house.
Yeah.
You know? And my her second husband, my stepdad is dead actually, but he died after. Oh, so he didn't die during the marriage. He died after, so.
Well, my mom was with her first husband, which is my brother's father. I have two brothers that I don't ever talk about, so this is going to be new to people. So she got married first with him at a very young age, like 18, because she was in the foster care system.
Mm-hmm.
So she married the first person she could, right? Like to get out and whatever. Was pregnant with my first brother during her wedding, child bride. And I think she was 20.
I'm still a child.
Yeah, child bride. I'm not even kidding, child bride. And then she had my brother like 3 years after. And then I guess she divorced him because he was cheating on her. She could never prove it, but like he did the whole coming home late without any explanation from work, or he had band meets because he was in a band. Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. He's fucking around. Anyway, so then my mom got into like serious depression and kicked off her alcoholism. But like that kind of runs in my family. Like my grandmother was an alcoholic and like anyway. Yeah. So kicked that off, and then she met I don't know, a couple guys, dated a cop, whatever, who then dated my aunt. Another story. Anyway, then she met my stepdad. Dick. No, she met my dad.
Yeah,
met my dad.
Okay, your dad.
Anyway, met my dad. And then had me. He died. And then she met my stepdad, and then she died. But like he was a dick. So was my father actually. Like she just dated a bunch of dicks.
That's what happens though. You start dating dicks, and you're like, "This is what I deserve." Like you don't have experience in not dating dicks. Like I got lucky. So my first serious boyfriend was a dick.
Yeah.
And then I met Kyle, and he's not as much of a dick. So like,
it's always like not as much because you still. Yeah. Like,
I think that's just my standards, though. Like
the bar is on the floor.
Yeah,
for like the average male.
Yeah, no, he is actually I don't like talking shit about him because he does like so much for me. But there's like lots of times where like I'm like, we're not together anymore today. Like today, I feel like that's it.
We're single today. Like
yeah,
just today, you
just
put
today.
A time stamp on it just to
Yeah, I'm a little extreme. I go from being so angry and then not like bliss. Like there's no in the middle. Like it's just like I hate you so much. You're the greatest thing to ever happen. Yeah. Like there's no ever in the middle.
Well, our listeners know I talk a lot of shit about my husband. I mean, I love him. Obviously. You
don't talk enough. You're like, oh, I love him, but
it's because we had the murder episode, and you both wanted to kill your husband.
No, I talk so much shit about my husband. I do. I complain about him all the time.
Also,
and how I love to divorce him.
You've been together forever.
But then I also did say that he is like the one guy I do idolize. Like he is a great father. Like, if I'm gonna give him props about anything, is he is fantastic with our kids. Me and him don't always get along, but like, if I could pick a father for my children, I picked Bright. Like, he's there for our children.
People do pick their fathers, really. Well, sometimes there's accidents.
Yeah,
but if I could pick.
Yeah. But like, I chose right, is what I'm saying. My first child, like, and he's the father of both my children. He is the only serious relationship I've ever been into. And
you beat the Hamilton odds.
I did.
The city of Hamilton is like at least 3 baby daddies.
At least 3, and like teen pregnancy, you never end up staying with that person.
No, never.
That's really unlikely. Yeah,
you did it. You beat the odds.
Woo,
go Don!
Woo! I lost my virginity to him. Had 2 kids. Got married. Got a car. A house.
You're like the people who got married in like the 50s.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, I have to stay with this guy because I can't have my own bank account. But like, you chose it. Like, it's not.
You should start wearing poodle skirts.
Yeah.
I love
it. But unlike the 50s, he doesn't beat me. So like,
true. Actually, okay. For the record, not all husbands beat their wives in the 50s. It was just not frowned upon if you did.
The joke in the neighborhood is that like, if Dave's walking by, like if our neighbors see him, they'll be like, do we need to like give you the battered husband's hotline number? Because like, I'm always like yelling at him and I'm like, cans, they're not alphabetically ordered. What the fuck? Like,
you should be like, give me the number the moment I get quiet.
Yeah.
Because that means he actually smacked you. Like, if you're still loud, you're fine.
Me smack him.
Oh.
Like, yeah, they give it to...
Dave's the victim.
Yeah, Dave's the victim.
Okay, maybe.
He is.
Maybe.
There's no maybe. He
Dave,
is.
if you're listening, send us an email and we'll send you help.
Yeah.
But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he'll walk out of the house and, like, if our neighbors see him, they'll be like, do you need the battered husband's hotline? Oh. Like, and he's like, not today. Or is she looking? Like, you know. That's the inside joke that I beat him. Yeah. Or is it a joke?
Is it a joke? Ooh, I want an update for anybody who's listened to our conspiracy theory episode. I found out this Christmas that there is people in my family tree on my dad's side. So there has been a few additions. One, and it has this last name Villeneuve. So that means, although like Villeneuve is a very popular last name, but the chances are
higher.
It's you know. But the funny thing is that like once I got rid of the Villeneuve family tree, all those people that were supposed to be my relatives were gone. So that's why there was the conspiracy theory. But it has now been replaced with, hey, maybe my dad is my dad.
Yay! For the record, you're the first Villeneuve I've met, and I've been to Montreal.
Oh, I think it's just like an Ontario French name.
Ontario French? Very
like
specific.
because I'm in New Brunswick, and it's all Oulette here.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I guess it depends your region, right? So I think Ontario, the most popular French name is Villeneuve.
I think it is popular because I remember my nanny, the only thing she liked about you was your last name.
Because you thought I was French. That's it.
She was super excited about you because of your last name. And then she realized she just liked your sister more than you. So
Natalie just has that personality, though, like where people just like her. And like, I like to think I'm the more likable one. But
I think my nanny liked rebellious kids because like her children, like her favorite child was my father, who was an asshole. Like my nanny was she was fucked up.
I love her a project.
Yeah. No, because she was a brat. So like
she was so adorable too.
Yeah,
like she was adorable.
Natalie was adorable too. Yeah, but my nanny, like she was a bitch, and so therefore she liked anyone who like represented that and brat people, and so she didn't like Sonia because she was well behaved.
I was just quiet. I had too much child trauma.
Yeah. And she didn't like it.
I shouldn't have been like able to take a group of kids. So I was like 9 and I was like babysitting like all these younger kids. I took them to Gage Park, which is like a 20-minute walk away. Yeah. And like the neighborhood parents were like, oh, you're so mature. No, man, I just didn't get to be
But, like, you weren't loud and obnoxious and like whatever, and you were like more of the adult type child. You didn't ungrow up until later, and then you became all.
I know that's the autism.
Yeah.
Your masking eventually like burns out, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why can't I do anything? But I used to have 3 jobs and go to school and take care of 10 kids. Yeah. Now I can't even dress myself.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, I've been digressing.
It's like I'm like throwing temper tantrums. I'm like, it's so bad. It's like, I can only eat 3 foods. I'm like a 3-year-old.
Noodles every day for lunch. I can't have anything else. I have a house full of food. I'm like, oh, nope, Mr. Noodles.
Exactly. I forgot how to like do basic chores. I'm like, I used to do this all the time. What do I do now?
Yeah. I sometimes forget to shower.
And when I'm in the shower, I forget what to do. I haven't shaved my legs in 3 months because it's like
I don't own a razor anymore. Like,
that's exactly it. I keep going, oh fuck, I need to get a razor, and then I like forget.
Even my shampoo, I'll just, if there's shampoo up there, like even my husband's, I see it, I grab it, I use it.
I think that's like also old lady age. You're like, I'm tired of taking care of myself.
I am.
Like, you're just like,
I have eyebrows that need to be waxed, and I just bought a waxing kit. I don't have the energy.
Just do yours pink.
I know. I love that. And I love like it matches everything. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. For our listeners, if you want to see, I'm trying to do my eyebrows. Like I found I can't do them natural. I can't make them look natural. I give up. So now they're bright pink. So
that's okay.
Every week, watch it on YouTube.
Oh my gosh. I'll do them like another color every week.
Yeah. And like green and
I'll try.
orange.
I'll try. I'll see what I can do. My hair is staying purple. It's like the color that makes me look less bald, but I will play with my eyebrows.
You can get stickers that are like leopard print and stuff. You can get eyebrow stickers.
The stamps. I know what you're talking about. Yes.
No, they're like actual stickers on like a sticker book. You get like a sheet of stickers and they're eyebrows.
I was gonna get her the stamp and like.
Well, now you guys know what to get me for my birthday.
That's right. It's in March. March 4th. If you want to get Jessica something, it's March 4th. On our link tree, there's a buy her a drink.
Yeah, buy me a drink for my birthday. For every buy a drink from now until March 4th, I'll take a shot.
Yeah.
All the shots. You'll take a recording of it and
donate $5.
And post it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Every shot.
Well, I'm sure I'll live stream. I'll live stream it, or we'll live stream it. Maybe I'll be, but we'll all be available on March 4th. I don't even know what day that is.
I don't know either.
It's a day, March 4th. It's a day.
Well, is it a day?
It's a Saturday, actually.
I'll have to see.
I probably will live stream.
There you
I'll
go.
live stream.
Yeah,
we'll watch.
Perfect.
We don't know what's going on March 4th yet, but we'll see.
Okay, well, I think we talked about all of our traumas. Oh yeah, and what we did for Christmas break this episode.
Summer, you didn't say dystopia at all.
Fuck.
That's okay. It's still gonna be.
What was our drink word? Oh no, it was a phrase. It was crazy.
Oh my god, crazy.
And I didn't even talk about most of the stuff, but like,
remember it for
I
next week.
up this episode.
No, I wanted to like not. I didn't want to make this like a depressing episode. So like, it was just like, oh,
we can laugh at your trauma.
We can
it's okay.
split it up.
Yeah.
We're splitting up the trauma. You can let us know next episode, and then we just kind of like split it up.
Okay,
like only a little trauma every episode.
Sure, yeah, and we'll laugh at it each time.
Yeah,
and
like, I mean, we just talked about a bunch of dead people. Like that's trauma. Like we're just
that's trauma. That's
all of our dead family members, and
that's somebody's trauma.
Yeah.
That's not mine. But
well, if you enjoy our trauma dumping and sometimes jokes, make sure to follow us on all of our social medias.
Dystopian and trauma dumping. Like
there we go. That's our title: Dystopian and trauma. Dystopian or dystopia and trauma dumping?
Whatever. It's up to you. You're the one that names these.
Okay, well, it'll be something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be something.
Something.
It'll be something. That's the new name.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. Oh, and be on the lookout for our new possibly bonus episodes. I don't know if I'm going to release them on Fridays or different days, but are booze and books and booze.
Oh yes,
books and booze.
Yeah, booze. Where we are going to have Dawn is famous on TikTok if you haven't heard, and she invited a bunch of indie authors to come on, do a reading of something they've released, and talk about whatever. I guess I don't know. Do you want to describe it? Yeah, their book.
Yeah, so like they're gonna come on. They're gonna talk about them and what they got into writing and whatnot, and the book that they're promoting. And then they're gonna do a reading of that book, and we're gonna drink because Sonia's gonna choose a drink word, and every time they say it in their reading, we're gonna get drunk, and then there'll be a question period and a sign off.
Woohoo! So yeah, so be on the lookout for that. So I think I got it all in. Got it all in.
So. Okay. So yeah, it sounds good to me.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good night.